Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is my week 12 pregnancy vlog. I am currently 12 weeks and 5 days pregnant, so I have one more day in this 12th week, but I figured I have some time right now, so I would get this video filmed for you. And today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. Alright, so what I want to talk about this week is mostly my midwife appointment. So if you're following along on Instagram, you already saw that we got to hear the heartbeat, and that was so amazing, and I'll talk more about that. But yeah, so midwife appointment. Also, I want to talk about symptoms in week 12. Okay, so we will start with the midwife appointment because that is the most exciting. And at the end, I will show you a bump update. Hi everyone, I got my hubby here. Dan, say hello as he's drinking.
Hi.
We are on our way to our first in-person midwife appointment, and I am, sorry, we're in the car, so the camera's gonna be like, I am beyond excited. Today is Monday, May 18th. It is very dreary and rainy, and it's 7:37 in the morning. Our appointment's at 8, and I'm just so excited. I had a hard time sleeping last night. I was so nervous. Okay, we're coming at you from a different angle because Dan made me stop the video because apparently I was covering up the mirror and he couldn't see. So we're back.
You gotta merge, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Safety first, always. Safety first. But anyway, I'm super excited. I had a hard time sleeping last night because I've been so excited. I have been extremely emotional, right, Dan? Extremely emotional the last few days, I think, because I'm just like so ready to just make sure that this baby's okay and hear the heartbeat and get my blood work done and know that all my levels and everything are all good and just be able to breathe. So I'm super excited. Another exciting thing is we decided that we are doing the genetic testing, so not only will they be, you know, checking everything out and hearing the heartbeat and taking all the blood work, but they're going to take extra blood, yay, for some genetic screening, since we are opting out of the genetic screening sonogram. We're going to get that blood work done, and it also, bonus, tells us the gender, which we're super excited about. So we should know the gender in like a week. So I want to know, we're going to do something really fun on Facebook this upcoming week. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, make sure you get over there. We're going to do something fun. But I want to know in the comments here, do you think this baby is a girl or a boy? I would love to know. Even if it's just like a total random guess, I don't care, it's fine. So, my midwife appointment went amazing. I mean, it was weird because with COVID, we had to like wear masks, and like it just didn't feel as cozy, I guess, as like I remember midwife appointments being with our last experience with our second son. But I get it, and everyone needs to make sure they're being safe, so we had that. And the midwife was so nice. She was the same one that we had our like televisit with for our first appointment. And so she kind of already knew a little bit about our story and a little bit about me. And we went over all, like most of it was just us talking. If I had any concerns or questions, we talked like about things like diet and exercise, and she gave me like a whole folder full of information, including things like natural remedies for symptoms, which is amazing because I'm not like one to just go for like a medication. We really try hard to use mostly all natural products in our home. So that was really exciting to see that. And then there was some information on birth, and we talked about our two options. So I don't know how it is in everywhere, but in the Buffalo area, for midwifery, we have two options for home birth. well, 3 options sort of, but only 2 with the midwife that practice that we are going with. So we had the same options with our last midwife. She's no longer practicing, which I've mentioned before, but we loved her. And so now we have a new midwife practice that we're with, and they're the same options. You can either birth at your house, like home, or you can birth at her, at the practice. So it's not a birth center. So it's still considered a home birth, but it's literally just like you're having a baby in someone else's home. It's a house. They have their rooms where they do their visits and checkups and things like that, and then they have 2 birthing rooms, which we got to tour, which was really nice. So with our last midwife, it was the same options. You could either birth at her house, which was also her practice. These midwives don't live at this house, but our old midwife actually lived at the house. They're like these huge buffalo, really old, huge buffalo houses. They're beautiful. And then we do also have a birth center in Buffalo, but I had looked at it for our last pregnancy, and it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So we really loved our option last time. I think we're going to go with birthing at the midwife's house, or the practice, I should say. But we still have a few months to figure that out. It's just our house is kind of small. I don't feel like it would be very conducive, the setup and everything to plus the boys would be here, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem as relaxing to me, but we have a few months to figure that out. So we went over that. Also, she measured, she felt my belly, she measured, first thing, when we first went into the appointment, I expressed how I've been really anxious that I had to wait so long to hear the baby or see the baby or just verify that I'm even pregnant. And she apologized, and she was like, I'm sorry, things are so crazy with COVID, normally we don't have telehealth visits and all that stuff, which I wasn't really looking for that. She doesn't need to apologize. It just was something that I have been anxious about. And so right away she was like, well, let's just try to get the heartbeat, let's do that first. And so I was so excited that she didn't make me wait the whole appointment. We got to find the heartbeat right away. And I literally, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna cry thinking about it. I literally burst into tears. My whole belly was shaking. She had to stop using the Doppler because it was just shaking my belly. I don't know, I had such an emotional release hearing that heartbeat. It was everything that I needed in that moment. And I did share that clip on Instagram, and I will insert it here for you so that you can see the baby's heartbeat. And so baby's heartbeat was between 150 and 158. So that was a little exciting for me to hear, and I know it's so silly, old wives' tales, but they say if the heartbeat is over 140, it's likely a girl, which anyone who's following us knows that we're hoping for a girl. We will obviously welcome and love a boy, but it's our last baby, and I really would love to have a daughter. So that was a little glimmer of hope. I wish I could remember what my boys' heartbeats were, but I just don't. I really don't remember a lot of details that I thought I would, so I never documented them because I was like, oh, I'll just remember. So I'm really, really glad that I'm doing this vlog because I'm always gonna have this to look back on. And this is a little side note, but I have been getting so much amazing feedback about these vlogs, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for reaching out with your kind words, because it really means it means so much to me. It really means a lot. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but it's kind of hard to put yourself out there, especially talking about things that maybe are TMI or whatever. I tend to be an oversharer anyway, but hearing all your positive feedback has really confirmed that I made the right decision, and I'm just so grateful that it's helping so many of you. So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Make sure you're clicking that little thumbs up button. Okay, so anyway, back to the midwife appointment. Sorry, I get sidetracked. So the heartbeat, I I'm measuring on track for, sorry if it's loud out here, there's like the chime and all the birds, and it was just so beautiful, I figured, why not? Anyway, so I'm measuring on track, like my fundal height or whatever, so that's exciting. Also, so I know I've talked a lot in the past couple of videos about how like my bump has popped and everything. Well, I don't normally weigh myself throughout pregnancy a lot. It's not something that I focus on. I really don't think that weight, unless you have other like risk factors that might make you want to look at weight closer, I don't feel like it's a huge thing in pregnancy. So I don't really pay that close attention. But before I went to my midwife appointment, I just wanted to like see, because I usually weigh myself in the morning, like without clothes on, like before I've eaten, and I just wanted to see like if there would be a difference when she weighed me or whatever, which she didn't even weigh me, which I'm totally okay with. But I will say I've only gained 2 pounds so far, and I'm almost out of the first trimester, and they say like up to 5 pounds or whatever is considered normal, which whatever. I don't know if I really even like the word normal. But so that was a little reassuring, because I was starting to get nervous. I'm like, well, it is quarantine and I have been sick and laying in bed a lot, so like I haven't been exercising, and like maybe it's just fat. And so I've only gained 2 pounds, so it is baby growing, and that's really, really exciting. I'm sorry, there is a little chipmunk that is staring at me, and if it runs on this deck, I'm going to panic. I don't like when little critters come at me. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna try to ignore it. So then we had blood work done. So she had 4 tubes of blood, which is crazy to me, because I remember with I know for a fact my first pregnancy, I don't know about my second, but I thought there was a lot too. I thought I remembered like 10 tubes of blood, like for our first lab work, but then again, sometimes my memory doesn't serve me well. So I don't know, there was only 4, which wasn't bad at all. And then 1 extra tube, so 5 total. 1 extra tube for the genetic testing, which we had discussed in previous videos that Dan and I decided we were going to do. They said the blood work with all my like labs, which I'm also really excited, because I am a nurse, so I'm excited to see like what my blood count is and all of that stuff. So, oh my gosh, these birds are so distracting. I should not have done this video outside. So she said that would take about 2 to 3 days. And then the blood work for the genetic screening and the gender, which we're most excited about, will take about 5 to 7 days. So she said it could be like towards the end of this week, but most likely it will be early next week. So I'm super excited. Make sure you stay tuned, because as soon as we get those results, we will be doing a gender reveal. We've gotten part of our gender reveal supplies in, the other half should be coming in tomorrow in the mail, so super exciting. Our next appointment is set for June 15th, and so she said we'll have an appointment. I don't know how it works, if it's the same with OBs. I had an OB with my first pregnancy, but I don't really remember like the schedule. But for a midwife, for her, we are seeing her every month, like once a month in person, until, oh gosh, I don't know if it's written down in here. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but for those of you who are first-time moms, it might be something that, you know, you're interested in. So for the first 28 weeks, and then from weeks 28 to 36, it'll be every 2 weeks, and then from 36 weeks on, it will be once every week. So that's kind of our schedule. So our next appointment is June 15th, which is exciting because it is my husband's brother's girlfriend's due date. So that's exciting. Another thing we scheduled is our one and probably only sonogram we will have throughout this pregnancy, and that is the anatomy scan they usually do it around 19 to 20 weeks. Ours is scheduled for week 19, and I'm so excited because that is the one time I will get to see baby before baby is born. However, I am also really sad because I'm getting so emotional. I'll talk about that later in the video. This one might be a long one. But with everything going on with COVID right now, at least, they are not allowing anyone to go into the sonogram with me, which is a really big bummer because obviously, like Dan, I would love for Dan to be there, and I know he would love to be there. And even more than that, I would love for my kids to be able to come. Like, they're at least Danny's at an age where he like wants to be involved, and I feel so bad because he keeps asking and he can't come to anything with me. Luckily, Dan's allowed to come with me to my midwife appointments. I'm grateful for that. And our sonogram isn't until July 6th. So things have started to reopen now, or are supposed to today, I guess. So we'll see what phase we get to by that point, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be able to come with me, because I just feel like I will feel so guilty being able to go see the baby, and he won't be able to join in on that. So fingers crossed for us that will work out. Any mamas who are going through this right now, who have to do this alone, or even go to your appointments. I know my sister, her midwife isn't allowing spouses to go, so she has to go by herself to her appointments. I can't even imagine. So I really feel for all of you mamas, and just know that I'm thinking about you, like, you're not alone. Okay, so that was pretty much the midwife appointment. So next I have symptoms for week 12, and I will say overall week 12 was a really good week. It was the best week so far. Well, I don't know, maybe some of the earlier weeks were okay too, but out of the last 3 or 4 weeks, I would say it's definitely been the best. I had the most good days in this week. Really, the only day out of this week that I didn't feel good was yesterday, which was Monday. And I just had a really bad headache all day, and then in the evening it just like progressively got worse, and then I was really nauseous in the evening too. So, but other symptoms that I have been experiencing are still fatigue, not nearly as bad as it was, but I still have days where I like nap or just feel really drained and tired. Also, oh my gosh, sorry. Week 12 was super emotional. Super emotional. I have cried a lot. I'm sure, like, everything going on in the world right now, and just being fed up, being stuck at home, and all of those things don't help. But holy cow, I cried a lot. I had like a huge emotional release on Saturday. I just was like crying and snotting, and it was not pleasant. My husband, like, bless him, bless my husband, because I was a hot mess on Saturday, and he was very supportive and just telling me that my feelings are valid and that I'm not crazy, and like all of the things that I just really needed to hear. So aside from, and I just like have been crying about everything, like the tiniest little thing, like we went out to get like garden stuff. If you follow on Instagram, I've been sharing all of our gardening and everything, and we went out to get our vegetable plants, and it was really like, other than my chiropractor, the only place I've gone like since all of this happened. And I literally on the way there started crying, and he looked at me and he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm just so happy I'm getting out of the house. It was beyond ridiculous. But anyway, so lots of crying week 12. I was like all excited. I'm like, oh, second trimester, like my emotions are gonna calm down. No, not yet. I mean, technically I'm not in the second trimester yet, but I thought I was close enough. Okay, moving on. Cravings. I haven't really mentioned cravings that much, but mainly because I feel like I haven't had any super, other than the avocados in the beginning of my pregnancy, I haven't had anything that's really lasted. Like, it's more of just like, I'll get a craving, and then all of a sudden, like, I need to have it. Like, I want something and I want it now, and I have to have it. But overall, I would say cravings have leaned towards carbs, which I'm not proud of, and is one of my weakness. Like, carbs are my comfort food, and they're also like really not, like, I know that my body doesn't do well with them. So it's been a struggle. Pickles, which I craved so much in, I know for a fact, my first pregnancy, probably my second pregnancy too. I've also been craving carrots and ranch a lot, which I don't remember craving that at all with either of them. So carrots and ranch I've been doing a lot. And like cookie dough ice cream. I'm usually not a big sweets person, but I've definitely eaten my fair share of cookie dough ice cream with this pregnancy. So those are pretty much like Oh, and those like everything bagel, they're not everything bagel, everything pretzel crisps with cream cheese. I know I mentioned that in another video. Those still too, but like none of them is like an everyday thing. It's more just like if I'm craving something, like those are the things I tend to gravitate towards, but nothing like really crazy, I feel like. My boobs are still sore. They definitely are. I don't know if I don't feel like they've necessarily grown that much, but they are definitely like really full. Like I feel like after breastfeeding 2 of my kids, they just weren't as full. Like they were just more like, I'm like sad breastfed mom boobs. And now they're definitely like full and perky and there all the time, which is kind of nice. And then the last thing I'll talk about is vivid dreams. So I've been having those like throughout the pregnancy, but I feel like the last week or so I've been having a lot. And I think it doesn't help that I've been having a lot of anxiety over finding out the gender of the baby. And I dream about it pretty much every night. Like I have trouble sleeping, or I'll like wake up and I'm like worrying about it, or like I'll go to sleep and I'm worrying about it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think because I know it's like, I shouldn't say I know, because sometimes things happen and the universe has other plans. But as far as Dan and I are concerned, this is our last child. And I just think the fact that it's our last child, like, it's just putting added pressure on, like, are we gonna have 3 boys or are we gonna have a girl? Like, I don't know. It seems so silly. Like, and I'm sure when I watch these back, I'll be like, oh my gosh, like how annoying was I? But it's just that I'm just telling you how I'm really feeling. I'm just being honest. So I've been having a lot of anxiety about that. So that probably has something to do with the dreams. But last night I had a dream. This is the last thing and then I'll let you go. Then I'll show you a belly shot. Last night I had a dream that we found out the gender and we were getting ready to do the gender reveal. I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to ruin the surprise about what we're doing for the gender reveal. Not that it really matters, but whatever we were doing for the gender reveal, we hadn't set up the camera because we're going to record it and stuff. So we hadn't set up the camera. We hadn't like gotten ready. We were just like in the house still. And I look over and Dan and the boys had like done it like without me. And I saw blue everywhere and I just flipped out. Like, because I was mad. I was like, what the heck? Like, we didn't even get to film it. Like, now the whole surprise is ruined. My reaction is ruined. And I was just so, like, shocked that it was blue. And so, like, now I'm starting to get really, like, I don't know, man. Like, I know they say what you dream is the opposite, but I don't know if I believe that. And this is the second dream now that I've had that it's a boy. So I don't know. We will see. We are going to find out real soon. Okay, I am outside again, but I literally just woke up, so no makeup, no nothing. I'm just coming to you real. I just wanted to add a little something to the video that I filmed yesterday because at the end of the video I was talking about how I've been having a lot of anxiety about the gender and like all that stuff. And so I was talking to my girlfriends about it, and one of my friends suggested, she's like, I don't know how much this would help or whatever, but you know, what if you like pick out a name, like a boy name, because we've been struggling. We have a girl name picked out that's, I mean, we're still open, it does not like 100%, but we have a girl name that we're pretty sure. And every single pregnancy we've always had a girl name. We have trouble picking out boy names. And like our last son, Andrew, he didn't have a name for 2 days because we had a really hard time picking out a name. But anyway, so she was like, maybe if you just like spend more time like really trying to pick out a name or visualizing like what that little boy is gonna look like, how they're gonna fit into your family, like all that stuff. And so I really thought about that yesterday. And yesterday while we were at dinner, I told my husband, I was like, I know we've had discussions about boy names, but like I really, like it's really important to me. I feel like I really need to have a name. Or at least some options that we like, because the problem is that I have a few names that I like, but Dan didn't like them. And so we sat at dinner last night and we asked the boys, which if you follow my husband on social media, he put up a post yesterday about how the boys' top 3 picks for a boy were Dirt, Bumba Bumby for short, or Rex. So those are fun. But anyway, we ended up picking a name at dinner that both of us really like. And like I'm really into like the meaning of names too, so I always look up the meaning, and I looked up the meaning and I really like that. And I don't know, I like slept on it. My husband this morning before he went to work, he was like, when I was out for my run today, like I really was thinking about that name and I really like it. And I just am sharing this with you because although it's something so simple as a name, like I feel 100 times better. Like I know now that if this is a boy, like not that I didn't before, but like I just feel so much better that like everything's gonna be fine. Like I love this name that we picked out. Like I can just picture another little boy in our family. Like I can just visualize it so much better. There's a mourning dove right on my fence. And I feel like I'm gonna cry just talking about it. Like I don't know, it seems so silly just to like just all over a name, but I feel so much better. So I want to say thank you to my dear friend who suggested that. And I also just wanted to share this because, you know, maybe that's you. Maybe you're struggling about, I don't want to use the word necessarily like gender disappointment, but like maybe you're really hoping for one and you're nervous too and whatnot. And I really think that like visualizing, coming up with a name, bonding with the baby, whether, you know, it's going to be boy or girl, and having those visualizations really, really helps. So if you're in the same situation as me, I hope that this helps you. Please excuse the morning mess, but I just wanted to share while it was fresh on my heart. I slept so good last night. I woke up refreshed for the first time in a really long time, and it's all thanks to, you know, my girlfriend's suggestion and just taking some time and really sitting with it, and I feel at peace. So I hope it helps. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you a belly shot. I'll show you how little baby's growing, and then we'll be done. So again, wearing my sweatpants and I'm just lounging out here. So we got a tank top on. Here's side view, front view, side view, and then I'll lift this up so you can see. Here, I'll see if I can like tuck it under my bra here. So there's definitely a belly there. And front view and side view. I'll see you next time.